Referees don't always get it right, but sometimes they get it so horribly wrong that it breaks hearts and even breaks the internet. Step into the 18-yard box as we look at 5 of the most controversial decisions in football history. We'll start with that infamous Robin van Persie sending off in the round of 16 game against Barcelona in the 2010-11 Champions League season. Arsenal were leading on aggregate and were confident that they could knock out the Spanish giants and go far in the competition. But the entire complexion of the game changed when, early in the second half, Arsenal's best player got sent off for the most ridiculous reason. RVP attempted a shot on goal just a second after the referee's whistle went, and just like that, the referee showed him a second yellow and he was off. Everyone was shocked when the referee's red card came out. It was too harsh, too brutal, and just absolutely unnecessary. Arsenal went on to lose that game and were knocked out, making that one controversial decision 10 times more consequential in the grand scheme of things. But if you think that decision was controversial, just wait till you find out what decision went in favor of Madrid in the same competition some years later. But first, let's talk about one of the most ridiculous penalty calls you'll ever see. In a Champions League game between Man City and Shakhtar, Raheem Sterling literally just kicked the ground and fell in the box without anybody touching him, and he was awarded a penalty for that. What? You did not even get a bird's eye view or any sort of technology to know that this was not a foul in any way? But the referee managed to get it completely wrong. This penalty call was so bad that Sterling and Pep Guardiola had to come out to apologize after the game, because it was just so obvious that the referee got that one horribly wrong. In fact, Pep even said that Sterling could have said something to the referee in that situation. But when this referee got his decision blatantly wrong at the 2010 World Cup, a lot of people said things to him, but he still did not listen. It was a round of 16 game between European powerhouses Germany and England. Frank Lampard unleashed a powerful shot at Germany's goal, which obviously bounced off the crossbar and crossed the line. But Neuer quickly picked the ball and continued with play, and the referee ordered for play to go on. Everybody who was watching was in shock because it was so obvious that that should have been a goal, but the referee got that one horribly wrong. And from nearly equalizing, England ended up losing that game 4-1 and crashing out of the World Cup. But sadly, that was not even the first time England had been undone by a controversial decision at the World Cup. We'll talk about the other decision in a bit, but first, let's talk about that Real Madrid versus Bayern game from 2017. In that Champions League quarter-final game, we saw loads of controversial decisions. Arturo Vidal saw a controversial red card late in the second half, and then Cristiano Ronaldo scored 2 goals from offside positions, all in the same game. There was just so much wrong with the officiating in that game. Bayern thought they could pull off a comeback against Madrid in that game, but the referee said a big no to them, with bad decision after bad decision. Now, you know a video like this can never be complete without talking about the infamous Hand of God incident. It was the 1986 World Cup, and Argentina went up against England in the quarter-final. Diego Maradona scored 2 goals in that game. The second was the goal of the century, while the first was the most controversial decision of the century. It was so obvious that Maradona diverted the ball into the net with his hand, but the referee let the goal stand. Even the Argentine players themselves thought the goal would be chalked off, but it stood, and Argentina went on to win the game and the World Cup. There aren't many controversial decisions that can come close to this in the history of the game. You look at a goal like that, and it's hard to question the introduction of VAR. In fact, all the decisions in this video would not have stood if technology was in use at the time those games were played. But let's be honest, the introduction of technology has not really completely eradicated controversial decisions, has it? Are there more controversial decisions in football that left you shocked, angry, or frustrated? Tell me all about them in the comments.